Joseph, are you coming for Easter?
I don't know, Mom. I'm really busy. I just tested for this pilot.
You're going to be...
Alright guys, so right off the bat, the first joke was just awful. It was just flat, it was awful, it was cringy, and yeah, it was just cringy. I think they could have just done a better joke
A network pilot for
to start off a movie. They should have definitely started off a better joke. Here's the thing.
TV show.
You're playing
I've seen the trailer for this movie a couple of times. It's B-rated. In my opinion, it's B-rated. It's not one of these feature films. You know, I heard the story about Jo Koy and Steven Spielberg, but this story is very B-list. Here's what Asian Americans have to do. If you guys want to put out a movie that is captivating to the American audience, all right, and this is what black and white people have done. This is what black and white people have done over the last 25 years. All right, what they do is they get the 1% off their tallest, best looking males and females to represent them in the movies. All right, you're wondering why there are so many of these good looking white black people. They're 6'1", 6'3", 6'4". That's the 1% of the population. They don't put out their short people with big stomachs. 60% of the American population, black and white, are obese. They're 5'9", 5'10" is the average height. They're not very tall people. They're fat and they're ugly. I'm sorry, that's the average American for you, black or white. Actually, the whole average looking thing is pretty much goes for everybody. Like in every race, most of your people are going to be average looking. All right. So unless you have a really compelling, really genuinely aesthetically pleasing comedic movie, or you have that kind of talent to put that kind of like joke after joke is funny, or the storyline is just once in a lifetime storyline that's rare and once in a lifetime, but it's a rare movie where it just tugs you at the heart. What you need to do is you need to cast your cast properly. All right?
the TV show.
No, a lawyer.
I know Jo Koy is supposed to be funny. All right?
You could have been a lawyer if you only...
So that joke just fell flat. It was cringy. The first time I watched the trailer, I thought it was cringy, all right? What would make it not cringy? You get the hottest Filipina chick. She could be older to play Joe's mom or Joe's sister or Joe's cast. The cast of this movie, all right, aside from like Lou Diamond Phillips, I know he's in this movie. The cast of this movie is not like the cast of Crazy Rich Asians, all right? Crazy Rich Asians, they pretty much followed the formula. All right, the movie had its really, really good points, but it was the look of it was aesthetically pleasing, and they got the A1 people cast, meaning they got the best looking Asians that they could get, male and female, cast in the movie. All right, I know that
Little father and son road trip.
And I know that, you know, I know Jo Koy. I know Jo Koy wants to be real. I know Jo Koy wants to represent the Filipino community. But let's all be serious about this game. Let's all be serious about this game that gets played in Hollywood. Let's all be serious about this game that gets played on TV shows, on movies, etc., particularly in the modern age. All right, particularly in the modern age. All right, you got to get at least some drop dead hot chick or guy, at least one or a couple of them, model type in these movies where there's eye candy for people. All right. As far as Jo Koy is concerned, I'm not the biggest Jo Koy fan. He's kind of funny. I watch his bits every now and then. He does his humor. It's okay. All right, it's okay. It's not hilarious. I'm not like remembering jokes from Jo Koy and then laughing to myself every now and then, thinking about certain things. But I think they could have done like so much more with this movie if they cast it right, even if the jokes were awful.
There's my career.
Right? I know they have Tia Carrere in this movie, but Tia Carrere is like,
bro. See you tonight, okay?
Tia Carrere is like 60 years old. Jo Koy, the chick who plays Jo Koy's sister, could be like a model type. He could have cast it like, I know they have like, he wanted 100% Filipino cast, but he could have gone out and casted, you know, whoever the best looking Asian is for the part. I'm sure he could have found a ton of really hotter looking Asians to put in this cast, okay? So that people get eye candy and stuff like that. I've seen enough Filipinos on YouTube to know, you know, there are so many people that he could have picked correctly for this movie. And that's one of the things that he did wrong. All right, the storyline wasn't very compelling. This is just from the trailer. I didn't watch the movie. I don't think the movie did well at the box office. I'm glad that we're in 2022 and people and studios are strong-armed at this point by social media to be inclusive of everybody and not just black people and white people. But I think Asian Americans really in the entertainment industry, really gotta look out for, if you guys want to just keep on progressing this, you guys need to figure out what the formula is. And the formula is not very difficult to figure out, and I can't for the life of me understand why Asians in the industry, Asian Americans in the industry just won't work with the formula. All right, these blacks and whites have been working with the formula, and it's not just Asian Americans, it's like Latino Americans have this same problem of, you know, you're just trying to figure out why it is that they can't understand what this formula is for box office success. And box office success doesn't mean just you generate a lot of money for yourself, but it means that you get representation out there, people see you, and it just progresses after that. So you want to get your A-list cast, your best looking A-list cast out there. White people has been doing that for a while. The blacks figure it out that, you know what, we're gonna get a best 1% of a race. And this is pretty much a proxy race war for the last 25 years. The media has been the theater for the proxy race war for the last 25 years. It's pretty soft. It's a very, very soft race war, but it's existed for the last 25 years. It's not entertainment, folks, okay? It's racial branding. It's racial branding. It's not entertainment. It's racial branding. It's the dignity of your people that's represented on screen, and you want to just progress that. You want to get the best looking, you know, you want to get at least 3 or 4 different, you know, at least 1 but 2 or 3 different people out there that's really, really hot, so that if the storyline didn't work well enough, or if, you know, if it's a comedy, the jokes fall flat, etc., etc., there's at least eye candy so that people can just sit around and just watch it, just to support you. All right? And this is just a fact. I'm not being a jerk about it. I'm not being an asshole about it. I'm not being somebody who's just trying to hate on how somebody's trying to represent their people and stuff like that. Jo Koy representing Filipinos, but Asians in particular. Like you need to actually work at that formula. You need to work at that formula because that's the same formula that these whites and blacks have been using for the last 25 years. It's worked out for them. You know, if you want to progress your race, you need to work that formula. Crazy Rich Asians had that formula working for them. You know, it doesn't really matter if you get like a bunch of 6'1" to 6'4" Filipinos, Asian Americans in these movies, because that's what the whites and blacks do for their own people. All right. I like I said in my other review of the other movies, I don't know how black people got that big black stereotype, because up until 1990s, pygmies, 5'1" pygmies from Africa were associated with black people. 5'1" Aboriginals were associated with black people. They casted Gary Coleman, or you know, every single, like most of the black characters you see on TV were around 5'9", 5'6". They didn't cast these 6'1", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" basketball players that represent like 0.0000001% of the population. Most of these people's black and white population are short, they're average looking to ugly, they're fat, you know, they're not very good looking. So so if Jo Koy needed to, he should have just gone a cast of, you know, 6 foot, you know, to 6'4" type people, tall, good looking people for the cast, and then just build around that cast. That's the formula for it. All right, now it's another thing if you have like a really good script, a really good storyline that tugs at the heart, but even then you still have to sell the movie. And I don't think at this point Jo Koy actually has enough pull to sell a movie like this on just him alone, even though he'll get a whole bunch of Filipino Americans to watch that movie, because Filipino Americans, from what I've seen, are very, very they're loyal to their race. They're fanatical about their national heritage. But that's not going to generate you box office success. Unfortunately, that's not going to generate you box office success. So yeah, so
You must follow your dream and become
I did a little snippet
That was my dream.
of a review of this.
Let's get
The storyline wasn't very good.
a party.
The storyline wasn't very good. The jokes weren't very good. It was like, you know, it was like if you put this out into a TV movie, it'd be more of a TV movie than a movie itself. But thumbs up for Jo Koy for trying, but he should definitely follow that formula for box office success, or at least should have tried to give this movie a better chance than he did with the casting. And there's a formula for this, guys. You guys gotta follow the formula. It doesn't really work if you guys don't follow the formula. Anyway.